Hello, my name is Doreen Mayer, and I'm honored to be here to share the verse of the day with you today. Today we hear from Zechariah chapter 7, verses 9 and 10. Thus says the Lord of hosts, render true judgment, show kindness and mercy to one another. Do not oppress the widow, the orphan, the alien, or the poor, and do not devise evil in your hearts against one another. This is such a straightforward Bible verse given to us over 2,500 years ago. It is still very relevant today, of course. Zechariah was a prophet at the same time as Haggai, of whom we learned about last week. Haggai was more concerned with rebuilding the temple after the Babylonian exile. Zechariah had a more broad message for everyone. As I was reading both books, Haggai and Zechariah, I was picturing Jerusalem in a state of disorganized celebration. It was noisy and chaotic, and there were goats running all over the streets. It was a time of celebration and hope for Jewish people. It was definitely a time of renewal. After all, God was calling all Jewish people back to Jerusalem with the promise in Zechariah 1, "You return to me, and I will return to you." But there was no temple in which to gather and worship. Everyone was just everywhere. And not only were God's people returning to the city, but for the previous 80 years, Jerusalem became home to persons from all walks of life. So in chapters 7 and 8, I can see God using Zechariah as a crowd control and a moral compass prophet. I believe we still need these words from God spoken through Zechariah. Render true judgment, show kindness to one another, show mercy to one another. I see the world getting smaller and smaller with all that is happening around us. We are all God's children, even the widow, the orphan, the refugee, the alien, and the poor. Do not devise evil in your hearts against one another. Francis of Assisi challenges us with these words, "We love one thing as we love all things. Be well and be good to one another."